Hello, it is finally time for me to do the full tour of the van. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, but the weather has been pretty sucky the last while. And finally got some sunshine today, so I thought, let's give you the full tour of the van. Okay, it wouldn't be a camper van, it wouldn't be a race van without a garage, and this is the best part about this van. Okay, so I figured we'd start with the outside of the van. So as you can see, she looks pretty damn spectacular. A really massive thanks to Chris Hartley at Cube Design for doing the graphics on the body. Nice big window in the sliding door. The graphics all the way along. And then on the top, we've got a massive awning with an awning light. Around the back here, you can see that the graphics continue. And you can't help but notice the ladder over here. So if we take a quick climb up here, you can see got an absolutely massive solar panel on the roof and a sky vent at the other end there. And all down this side, it carries on. Let's take a look inside. We'll start right at the entrance over here. You can see I've just taken some standard coat hooks that I've made a shoe rack with, which is right at the entrance, so shoes off whenever you come inside. We've got a 240 volt plug over there. We've got some USB charge points over here, normal cigarette lighter point over there, and this switch right here is for the gas water heating system. Straight inside, you've got a nice seating area with leather padded seating, and this breadboard over here, which can move around anyway, is actually the coffee table. So that's where the coffee cups and plates and stuff sit when you sat down, because there's nowhere else really to rest them. You can see I did a pretty neat cladding job on the door here with tongue and groove pine, and we've got a standard caravan window, so complete blackout, which is awesome for the evenings, gives you some privacy. You've got the fly netting, and then you've got completely open with, of course, a window that can open. Over on this side we've got another caravan window, or this is a camper window, which does something very similar. Complete blackout, fly screen, completely open, and a sliding window. TV right there, and that runs off 240 volts, and there is the power button for my inverter. So I've got a 1000 watt inverter in here. Now for the cooking area. This is one of the nicest parts about the van. It allows me to cook food, and well, this is pretty much my home now, so you need your creature comforts. So we've got a gas cooker over here with a gas grill. Got a little storage area underneath here where I just keep all the spare bits for the stove, and then on top here, 4-burner gas hob. How cool is that? So I cook fresh meals every evening on that. Right here we've got a fridge, which is a 3-way fridge, so we've got, runs off of 12 volts, 240 volts when hooked up to the mains, and on gas, which it's currently running on. And inside you can see I've got some milk and coke and all the meat and stuff that I cook. It's even got a little freezer for your frozen veg. Oh yeah. Okay, and then this little glass panel over here is the sink. How cool is that? And we've got full running water. Oh yeah. And there's hot water as well, which comes out of the gas heating system. This just makes it so that I've got a complete kitchen here. I can cook and just go about normal daily business. Over here, a little food store. We've got all the breakfast stuff. Loads of bread rolls for making lunchtime sandwiches. Coffee, kitchen roll, cooking oil, and of course a fire extinguisher and first aid kit, which I have actually used recently. And then up here is where I keep all my cutlery and stuff. The most important bit of kit in the van is the coffee pot. That thing makes absolutely amazing coffee. All of the drawers, doors and stuff have got these really cool catches on. So there you go, that's closed and locked, prevent it from rattling and opening while I'm driving. Down next to the fridge, I've got a little cupboard over here. Open that up, you see I've got a couple of shelves. So down on the bottom here we've got plastic bags, bin liners, cloths, baby wipes, all that sort of nonsense. Up here, let's get rid of all the cakes, you did not see that. Alright, so we've got a tub here with all my spices, Nutella, peanut butter, cooking sauces, all that sort of stuff, some kitchen foil at the back there. And the top drawer is where the fruit, spare coffee and eggs and stuff. Bit of extra storage space in there as well. We'll put all the cakes back in there, which you did not see. And down next to, that normally sits up there actually, so there's my dustbin. We've got the table for the living area. I'll show you shortly how that works. And I always keep a bottle of water handy just in case I ever run out of water. Down on this side, this little beauty right here is the gas heater. So it's not really very cold at the moment, so I'm not using it, but that thing is amazing when it's cold. Up above the TV here, you can see I've got a little power board here, so I've got all my charge points where I charge my phone and my GoPro and GPS and all of that. Little cigarette lighter port, and then the switch is for the water pump, so that's to the pump that feeds the water to all the taps in the van. Okay, so I'll give you a quick rundown of all the storage in the van. All the cupboards, there's actually quite a lot of storage for clothes and all the other stuff that you take with you when you're racing, all your kit and stuff. So we'll start right here next to the TV. I've got the main wardrobe over here, so open that up and you can see it's actually got a hanging rail at the top there, but I don't really use it because else it would just be dead space. So I bought one of the storage drawer systems. So I've got all my, pretty much this is just my cupboard for my riding gear. So heart rate strap, I've got my GPS right there, cycling socks, some long trousers at the back here, and then hanging up on the side here I've got 2 jackets. Just in case it gets super cold or it rains. Up on the top over here I've got first cupboard, TV remote, which is a super cool TV because look there, it's got a Netflix button and a YouTube button, which is awesome. So it connects up to my phone when I set it up as a hotspot, and I can watch some series of movies in the evening. Okay, so up here I've got all my supplements, my Cadence nutrition. Next one along is my clothes, casual clothes, which is, as you can see, much less space than what my cycling gear takes up. I've got a whole collection of sponsors caps over here. That's about it really. That's all the casual clothes I wear. It's only in the evenings when I'm done riding that I actually wear anything casual, mainly when I'm cooking and getting ready for the next day's riding. And then this is a nice big one. This is above the driver's cab. This is where I store all my helmets. I've got some plastic tubs in the back there, and just in case I've got a little spare camping gas stove at the top there, just in case I ever run out of gas and I need to cook. So that's it for all the storage space. As promised, I'll give you a quick demo on how the table that is hiding in that corner over there creates a whole seating area over here. Stashed back over here is a steel leg and the tabletop. Let's see if I pull back this rug over here. Let's see, you've got a hole in the floor. And that goes into that hole. Table fits over that. And then we've got a dining table. Either dining table or a kitchen table, there's a hole there. And if you pull this mat up, there's another one right there. Have the table in 2 different positions. I think that's pretty cool. Now for one of the coolest parts of this van, and that's the bathroom. Have a look at that. So we come over to this door over here. Again, push the little button there, and that opens up. Shower curtain in the way at the moment. Have a look at that. How cool! So up here against the wall, I've got a little sink. It's got my shower gel in there at the moment. Tap, full running water in there. Got got the shower head at the top here. That green cloth is what I use to dry the room every evening, because yeah, it's a small confined space, you've got to keep it dry. Shower tap. Got the cassette toilet over here, which is also hooked up to the water, so it's got a flush button over there, which is flippin' cool. And full shower room with a drain, which just currently drains to the outside. And again, same window system, window open so I can get some fresh air in here to dry it out. That gets pretty dark, but there's a nice little light in here. So that is the shower room. And I'll tell you what, it makes living in a van so much more comfortable when you can actually wash yourself every day. And now I think the last thing that I need to show you in here is what is hiding under the seats. Quickly remove this backrest here, and I'll move this seat cover here. Okay, so under this first one is where the brains of the whole operation is hiding. Ta-da! Okay, so firstly, before anyone comments on the fact that I've got electrics and water in here, it absolutely pains me to have all of that down there. Unfortunately, the guys who did the original conversion had all the water and the electrics down there, and I just could not figure out where else to put it in the van, so I've had to stick with the theme. So before all the haters jump in and tell me how wrong that is, I know. I die 1,000 deaths every time I come in here. Alright, so this is what we've got. Water system first. We've got a Whale automatic pump right there. So that feeds from the water tanks which are under that seat. I'll show you shortly. So it's a pressurized water system, so the pump is always on and the pipes are under pressure, and the moment you open one of the taps it feeds water through. That right there is the gas heating system, and basically the switch that I showed earlier at the front door turns this on. So it's a hot water storage tank, runs on gas, as you can see the gas pipe down there, and that heats the water for the van and allows me to have nice hot showers. That's the electric system. So I've got two 110 amp hour batteries in here, 12 volts, and they are charged in three different ways. One is the solar panel that's on the roof. Two is a split charge system, so that when the van is running it charges off of the alternator. And number three is off of the 240 volt hookup, and we've got a 12 volt power supply. Right, so the split charge system, I have got one of the best in the business, if not the best in the business. This is a C-Tech battery management system. So you can see I've got the D250 SA and I've got the SmartPass 120. So the SmartPass 120 is the split charge system, so that this lead here comes from the main battery, so that's connected to the alternator, and that basically detects when the engine is running, when the alternator is running, and then charges the batteries, and it monitors the battery levels. This is a smart charger, so it ensures optimal charging of the batteries at all times. And this lead coming in over here is from the solar panel, so that also manages the solar charging of the batteries. I showed you the 240 volt hookup point outside, so this is this blue lead over here. Is that coming in, runs into a circuit breaker system over here, and then that runs then through into a relay. So this relay detects whether the 240 volts is coming from the 240 volt hookup or if it's coming from the inverter. It'll always select the main hookup over the inverter, so that basically switches if there's mains power coming in. Otherwise it runs off of the inverter, which is over here. And I've got a 1000 watt pure sine wave inverter, and that just allows me to have mains power in the van. Under this seat we have got two 60 litre water tanks, so that gives me 120 litres of water, fresh water, for
all the tips in the van.
And then my sleeping area, so right here next to the bathroom, you can see there's a single bed. Let's put the light on up here. And there is a standard size single bed mattress. And that's where I sleep in the evenings, which is right above the garage. And the garage is the best part. Okay, it wouldn't be a camper van, it wouldn't be a race van without a garage, and this is the best part about this van. So let's go check it out. You can see I've got a nice deadbolt on the top here and standard lock, just because I need to make sure my stuff is safe. It's pretty windy out here, so I hope the wind doesn't cause any issues. Right, so we'll start with the door here. So I built all this plywood racking here, so we've got pretty much all my liquid moly lubes and greases and cleaners, and in the top here, this here's all my greases, polish over here, and we've got brake cleaner, bit of LM40 which is a lubricant, and a water displacer, and then chain cleaner. And just below that we've got, starting on the right here, wet lube for the chain, and one type of dry lube over there. We've got some Loctite, some copper grease, some tire fix, brake fluid, and then down below here we've got liquid moly brake cleaner. Got a couple of those, a spare. Got a pump spray bottle for the brake cleaner. Got a little torque set, torque ratchet set, and I've got car wash for cleaning the van. A couple of cable ties, some workshop gloves. Right, on the other side, over here, so over the top here, I've got a couple of hooks with my hydration packs up. I've got a little shelf that I've made for all my tools. Tire lever, there's meant to be another one in there, but I broke it. Got side cutters, pliers, chain splitters and joiners, a rubber mallet, selection of screwdrivers, multi-tool right there, bottom bracket tool, vernier, if you're a serious mountain biker and engineer, you got yourself one of those, shock pump, tire pressure gauge, the most used item on the shelf. Every single ride I check my tire pressures, spoke key, pedal spanner, got cassette tool there, cassette whip, bottom bracket tool, that's for changing chain rings on the race face cranks, selection of Allen keys, and then just need to get that out the way. Oh, and I've got myself a little workshop table right there when I'm working on the bike. That is awesome. Okay, so we'll come over here. Starting at the bottom, we've got two 20-litre tubs of water with a little 12-volt pressure washer. I've got the wheel blocks over here for getting the van level whenever I park up and need to camp. A 6-kilogram LPG gas cylinder. Up above that I've got a whole selection of stuff. I've got a box here with loads of spares, a little organizer tray with nuts and bolts and spacers and all of that. I've got some spare oil there for the van, a little fold up bucket, ground sheet for going under the awning, and a toolbox just with some extra tools and stuff in that does not go on there. Okay, then moving across, I've got a nice spotlight at the top there when I'm working on the bike in the evening. Big cable for the 240-volt hookup, spare brake pads, wheel spoke tension meter, and then another little tub full of spare brake pads and nuts and bolts and washers and O-rings and all sorts of stuff in there. Got some cool little magnetic strips over here, magnetic tool holders. Down here I store my bike stand, workshop bike stand, so we'll get that out the way for now. Okay, now for the best part, the actual bike storage area. Look how flippin' sick that looks. So this van was originally converted to be used for motocross. Obviously I'm not using it for motocross, so this space here is pretty big, and I just felt that if I mounted the bikes on the checker plate on the bottom, I'd have massive dead weight, and I didn't want to put weight at the top here just because it raises the center of gravity of the vehicle. So I built this rack at the bottom here. So we've got a couple of drawers here. This one here has got a whole selection of spare sprays, brake cleaners, lubes, chain cleaner, all of that. And then I've got two drawers here. First one houses 29-inch Maxxis tyres, nice selection over there. We've got some spare liquid moly brake leader, Industry 9 bearing press kit. That one, put it away. And then in this one over here, likewise, this is just 27.5-inch tyres. That one's a bit more empty. Now for the best bit, the bike rack. So just quickly, I've got a little lock there to prevent it from sliding while I'm driving. That's unlocked. Here we go. Check this out. Oh yeah. There you go. So I can fit 3 bikes on this rack over here. Okay, so this is how the bike rack system works. I am quite full of crap, so I don't like having to do tie downs and straps and mess about and fiddle when I'm mounting the bike. So similar to my previous van, I came up with a pretty clever way of mounting the bikes. Because I've got limited space widthways, I couldn't put the bikes all in with their handlebars stood sideways. They just wouldn't fit in. So at least 2 of the bikes had to have the handlebars turned 90 degrees so that it would be in line with the bike. So that creates a challenge when it comes to mounting them, because you can't use your standard fork mount with those, because the moment you turn your handlebars, it puts your fork mount at an angle, and every single bike is different when you do that because of the length of the bike and the angle, head angle and all of that sort of stuff. So my solution, which is similar to my previous van, tire goes in here, fork rests on this, which is pretty much just a block of foam, and then your pedal slots into this little groove here. So this is a 3D printed bracket that I designed. Let me show you how that works. Okay, so first step is to position the rear wheel into the slot over here. Make sure the handlebar is in line with the bike, and then I just compress the tire down into this wheel slot, and then you can see that the pedal slots into this groove here, and that is already pretty damn secure. But then what I do, by compressing the fork into the foam, reload the cassette, and there you go, bike is mounted. So it's exactly the same for this bike on this side. I've not stuck the foam down yet, but I do have the foam. I just need to glue it down. And then the center bike has a standard fork mount over here, and I'll show you how I mount that one. So what I do is place the wheel down onto there, literally wheel the bike backwards, push it up into the wheel slot, that drops into place. Once that drops into place, position the fork onto the fork mount at the front here. Axle goes in, tighten it up, and voila, bike is mounted. It is as simple as that. Push the slider back in again, lock it. The front wheels, which you can see over here, so the front wheel for each bike is over here. So this literally, you can see I've got 3 little slots there. So slide it into the slot, press it into place, and this little hinged tab at the top keeps it right there. That one's moved a bit. There you go. And the last one right there. There you go. And at the moment I'm carrying 4 wheels, so because I don't have a third bike in there, I can simply just mount that in that slot. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my race van. I hope you enjoyed it.